Hi, Shelby. I have your draft here on the Medium account for your argumentative essay. Um, I thought it would be best for me to create a quick video of me explaining what needs to happen here. Okay, if we go back to the Writing Project 3 instructions, what we are doing here, okay, is we are composing an argumentative essay. We are using the Medium platform, so it's going to be digital. We can also bring in different modes of communication to support our points that we're making. But at its very core and foundation, this is an argumentative essay that we are writing. It is like the culmination of the previous projects that we have worked on throughout the semester. So first we had our autoethnography where we identified an issue or behavior that we saw within a community that we belong to. And what you had what you had seen in that or described in that autoethnography was people with, mental illnesses who were in need, who were not getting the support that they needed. And so then in the writing project 2, students were to go out and research what other experts in the field and what other stakeholders and researchers, what they had to say about that same behavior. So what they had to say about the lack of support that people with severe mental illness are struggling with and getting by without, okay? And so this final multimodal persuasion is where we are picking a very specific audience and we are now making an argument. Okay, we are persuading that audience of very clear opinions that we have of what needs to be happening, what the situation looks like with, people with mental illness struggling to get by with that lack of support, and what needs to happen. Okay, so those are the opinions that you voiced to me, and that needs to be argued in this essay. The audience of your essay will be persuaded that your opinions and your calls to action, whatever they may be, that they are valid and that they need to act upon them. Now, that is a very, very different type of writing than our writing project 2. Very different. Now, if you look through here in the instructions, I did mention you can pull all of any kind of information that you want or that you need from your previous writings and incorporate it here. But granted, as I said over and over, that needs to be revised. That material would need to be rewritten because you are using it in a very different way than you did prior. Okay, this is an argument. Prior, it was an objective description. This is, you are sharing your opinions and you are making an argument, and you are going to be using those source material to support your argument. Okay, and so when I pulled up your essay here, your draft, it did not take me long to realize that this is word for word, complete and unaltered from your writing project 2. Okay, there's been nothing changed, there's been nothing added, it's just cut and pasted. And at one level, it's, well, here, I'll pull this up. So here's your writing project 2 that you had submitted. And even if you did pull it over, I had offered you so much feedback on how to improve this, what was missing. There's a lot of explanation missing. It was going to be it's kind of hard to read because there are some certain sections that were missing some guidance for the reader, okay? But even at that level, none of that was incorporated. That original content was simply cut and pasted into this platform, onto the Medium, okay? So like I said, you can use some of that material, but you can't just cut and paste it and think it's going to first be, satisfy 2 different assignments. But second, it would not satisfy what this assignment is, what this type of writing is. This is no longer an objective description of what the other experts have to say. This is your argument. You are the star here. You are the one with the opinions that you are trying to persuade your audience to accept. So you need to have an introduction here that invites the reader into the topic about severe mental illness and the people struggling out there without support, without the tools and the things that they need to live a full life. Okay. And so you're going to introduce that, and then you're going to introduce your opinion. What needs to happen? There needs to be a thesis statement. This is the situation, and this, and this needs to happen. Okay. You need that thesis. And then in the body, you're going to take the steps or the sections of that thesis, each thing that needs to happen, and you're going to write up a section where you state that again, you explain what needs to happen, and then you bring in that support from your previous writings. You bring in that support from the experts and researchers that you've described in your literature review and use them to back up your argument. So this is a very different type of writing than you did before. You can't just simply cut and paste and call it good. That just doesn't work. So you need to use this as a starting point or some of the material to write your argument, okay? Also, I see down here at the very bottom, there's a few photographs, okay? There's no explanation to what they are. I mean, there's a little caption under each, but they're not integrated into the essay. They're just kind of listed below. And it looks like all of them have been brought in from other sources. I don't see any original creations here. So this, rather than listing them below, these would be, they seem more kind of random. I'm not sure what, these images should support some of your argument. Okay, how do these help provide evidence to some of your opinions that you're making? These aren't actually woven into your writing to support your opinions. They're just kind of listed at the end. So when you ask for feedback, use this as a starting point to go back to an outline that I'd asked everyone to make using the MEAT method, where you make your main idea, you explain your main idea, you bring in your evidence, and then you tie it all together, okay, for your audience. You use that method and write this in a way that shares an argument and uses these different modes of communication to support or demonstrate each point that you're making in that argument, okay? Let me know if you have any more questions. You can also drop by my office if you want to talk about it in person. But yeah,